Okay, so greetings. This is Edward Ojambo. In this tutorial, we're going to review Notepad Next version 0.12. Before we begin, quick reminder that I do a live stream every day at 2 p.m. Eastern. You're free to join the live chat and post topics about programming or lifestyle. And the link to the live stream is right in the article. And also be sure to subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments for more, not just frequent content, but inspiring content requested by you. You don't have to be a subscriber. You can just request it and they'll try to accommodate you. All right. So Notepad Next is an open source text editor. It's cross-platform, but I'm going to install it in Fedora because I use Fedora Linux version 42 at the time of this recording. So it's designed, obviously, it's cross-platform replacement for Notepad++. It supports syntax highlighting, tabbed editing, search and replace, themes, and more, all without ads, telemetry, and unnecessary bloat. So it also has a permissive license. It's licensed under the GNU General Public License version 3. So I have done specific tutorials and videos about the different type of licenses. The first one I ever did was the MIT license, then I did the GPL, then I did the public domain, and then public domain and public domain equivalent. And then also last one I recently did is the Apache license. All right. So you can explore the source code for Notepad Next at the GitHub. I have a link here. So you see it's very simple. On GitHub, it goes to DAO 8859/Notepad Next, and you can read more about it here. As you can see, the latest version at the time of this recording is version 0.12. That's the one I have for the review today. And you can see by default, it looks very much like Notepad++. So one little caveat is it says right there, though the application overall is stable and usable, it should not be considered safe for critically important work. There are numerous bugs and half-working implementations. Pull requests are greatly appreciated. So that's also, you can tell by the version because the version is 0.12. So it's clearly not alpha status. It's more than that, and a lot of stuff works. So if we find any bugs, maybe we'll let the developers know about them. So to install, as you can see here, the package is already available for Windows, Linux, and macOS, and it shows you how to install it. If you're on Windows, you use winget. If you're Linux, the recommended way right now is to use the app image or a Flatpak. So I decided to use Flatpak, but I could have simply gotten the app image. App image is basically just a package that contains everything. So you don't need, for example, like Flatpak, to install whatever dependency it needs inside the containerized application. But that's basically app image already comes with everything. The only other caveat with app images is that if you need to do an update, you have to basically get another app image. Although there's a way you can do it automatically, but Flatpak just makes it easier. And if you're on macOS, you can get the disk images right from the releases pages, or you can also install it using Brew. And then they also have some macOS tweaks, and then there's development here. And as I told you before, the license is the General Public License version 3 or GNU GPL version 3. Actually, I'm very curious now. Is Brew cross-platform? I thought it was. It used to be. Oh yeah. So it says, yeah. So I wasn't crazy when I was saying that it is kind of cross-platform because you can see it. You see it's a missing package manager for macOS, or I'm sure you see also for Linux. I didn't see Windows yet. I think they never had Windows, so there you go. All right, so I wasn't wrong because I'd seen it before, but I hadn't actually used it. All right. What else is here? So to install on what do you call it, on Linux, as I said before, I'm on Fedora. As you can simply see, it's on Flathub. So if you don't know what Flathub is, I'll just show you very quickly. There are two ways to get to Flathub. We go to flathub.com here, .org, sorry, and then you can do a search. For example, this name was, you just type Notepad and you press enter, and you can see Notepad Next comes up. There are other names which use Notepad, but that one, that's one way to, if the developer puts it on Flathub, or some contributors, the volunteers do that themselves. So the other way is I use the software, GNOME software, and you see I can do a search here, and I can search for Notepad. Let me just put it here so everyone sees Notepad Next coming up here as well. And as you can see, you see it says open. That's because it's already installed. So you see here, when you see if there was other places, it will show them here. You see it's DL, that's obviously stands for download.flathub.org, and you can see it tells me how big the installed size is, and if there's any problem, you see it says potentially unsafe. It can read, write all your data. Software no longer or no longer supported, desktop only, age, and you see the version and the people, and you see the project's website, and much more. You see you can also read some reviews, and this one here, the person says, yeah, it's mid, sorry. So we'll figure that out ourselves, and it's there we go. Say license is also here. So that's another way. If you're in Linux and you're using GNOME, or you want to install the GNOME software, that's how to get it. All right. So you can install it also on a command line, Flathub here, and then run it. I said I don't need to do that when I use the software, or even there, because I'm using GNOME, I can simply just search for it to come up and then load. That's how I loaded it here. And you can also build from source. You can clone it and then just build it there as well if you want to do that. Windows, the executable from the Git, already talked about that. Same with macOS. And these are just screenshots. So in order to save time, I'm going to skip the screenshots for now and just go through the application. Oh, the sun just came out and gave a nice little glare. So let's take a look at this guy here. So when you first load the program, you can go here. You see there's it's clearly built in Qt, and let's see the version. You see about. It's Notepad Next version 0.12. It's a Flatpak version by Justin Daly, and you can see here the license, the GNU public license as well. Can you see that Notepad homepage? So I click that link, it will take me to the homepage. Most likely will be the GitHub page. All right, as usual, you have the file menu. You have your new, close, save, save all, export as HTML, RTF. You can print, and you can open up the recent files, as you can see in recent files, because I tested this before. And obviously exit. In edit, undo, redo, cut, copy, paste, delete, select all, select next instance. So I like this feature because it allows you to have multiple instances of Notepad Next open. So sometimes sometimes some of the features, such as the vertical or horizontal screens, not work. So you want two copies, you can do that. I find that pretty useful in IDEs. You can copy more, full path, full name, full directory, copy as, HTML, RTF, indent, increase, decrease. You can convert case, uppercase, lowercase, EOL conversion, that's the end of file or end of line conversion. You see there's Windows, which is CRLF. Then Unix is LF, and Macintosh has CR. And then line operations, you can duplicate the current line. You see the shortcut is all down. You can split lines, join lines, Control J, move, select lines up, or Control Shift up and down, Control Shift down, and you remove empty lines. This is actually pretty useful. Remove empty lines. This would have been nice when I was still doing those massive databases I was telling you guys about in the past. Ouch. Comment, uncomment, you can toggle a single line comment and comment them. You can encoding, decoding, you can base 64. I usually do this on the command line. You can URL encode, base 64 decode, and URL decode. If you don't know what all this for example, if you want to convert a binary into text, for example, like an image, you encode it, and obviously that's how to decode it. And the URL encode and decode, this I usually, if you ever look at the URL, it will say something like, say, ojambo.com, for example, right here. You see it says ojambo.com / whatever after that. So sometimes if there's spaces or something, by default they'll be encoded. Sometimes you might see like it'll be %20, that actually stands for space. So that's what the URL encoding and decoding do. So what I usually prefer is I tell people to just leave an underscore, so that way it doesn't convert it, because sometimes if it's malformed, you won't know where the problem is unless you know how to read. And then there's column mode. We'll come back to that later. Obviously that means it's a rectangular select. And in the search you have find in files, find next, find previous, replace, quick find, go to line, mark all instances, clear marks, bookmarks. So I rarely use bookmarks, but some people like them, so they're there. And then go to line or jump to line, so we'll test that later today. View, you have your full screen, show symbols like white space, end of line, indent, wrap symbol. Zoom, I like this zoom, it's pretty easy. It's normal control ++, control minus zoom out, and you can reset zoom. That's a very big one. Even some big IDs, there's no way to reset the zoom. Word wrap, this is obviously soft wrap, but it was off by default. I believe I enabled it. Fold all, unfold, search results, folder as workspace, meaning you can drag and drop a folder. As you can see, to remember my last folder I dragged and dropped into here. And file list, encoding, and then obviously, as I said, I'm using UTF-8. I'm on Unix type systems. The languages, this is programming languages. Settings, we go to preferences. Surprisingly, this is very sparse. You see, you can show the menu bar. This is usually for distraction free. Show toolbar, show status bar. Remember, find and replace. Also, recenter, find, replace dialog when opened. Combine search results, translation, and default font. As I said, it's very sparse, obviously, because this program is still pretty new. Then you have markers. I don't think I've ever done this except for maybe like when I used to work with the proprietary Microsoft Excel, but the others you can do as well. So there you go, it's there for you. And then in the help menu you can lower console, language inspector, editor inspector, debug log, hex viewer, about Qt, Qt, and that's the it's a framework and also a programming language. I believe it's C++ combined, and then the debug info. All right, now with that said, there's also some quick tabs here or quick menu items here as well. So as you say, I'm really using the folder as a workspace. I can show you what folder that is. And inside this folder called editor review, you see I have this one called it's going to be my app. Yeah, my app. So I just dragged and dropped in here, so that became the workspace, just to show that the folder, this guy here, does work. All right, now let's get started with the key of this. That's the review. So clearly I can drag and drop a folder. Example here. And for example, you can also drag and drop. Sorry, I forgot one very important thing. The theme. Did you notice there was no way to change the theme? So it detected my what do you call it? I'm using GNOME. This is clearly not the GNOME. What do you call it? The GNOME theme I'm using, but it's good enough. It's a good facsimile, so that's good enough. It's actually very, very good. So I'm gonna give this a pass, but the problem is I can't change it for now. I read the instructions, looked documentation. There's no way to change things of now. I'm not sure you can do that with Notepad++ in Windows. I haven't used it in a long time. You probably can't do that either. So that's fine. But so that got a 0.5. All right. So what else? The dragging and dropping does work. So to save some time, I'm going to do a double duty here. I'm going to open up this large file, this 1 gig text file. I'm going to dump it in there. So it's a very big. Oh, looks like. Is it? Okay, there we go. So did you notice what happened? It took. But the thing is, it's still open, and there was no warnings or anything. Now the key is, can I edit the file? I should be able to. So I'm going to put my mouse about here, somewhere on line 3, about halfway line 3. Press enter. There we go. So obviously I can edit this. I can edit this. Oh, that's a little bit slow. And the fan on the workstation has come up. So I'm guessing the CPU or something has triggered some heat. And see, I did type I can edit, and you see as I'm talking now, it's still it hasn't either it lost it or it has not. Oh, you know what? I should actually show you the task manager as well. For this, let's open up the task manager or system monitor in Linux. You can see it's using 3.4 or 12. There we go. It triggered it, and I should put this here. So I'm gonna wait. You see, whatever I typed did not come in. So I think this might actually. Okay, wait. I'm waiting for my word to be typed, then I can close this. Okay, looks like my word is not going to be typed. So I'm going to give this a 0.5 because clearly, the funny thing is, even with OBS, it's still able to open it, and I got much further than before. So I'm trying to be very fair here, but I'm going to force quit it. Okay, because clearly you're not going to be sitting around all day waiting. So one bad thing is that was clearly a crash, but you see it didn't remember what I had open, which is, I guess, a fair assessment. Okay, so that also got opening a very large file, that got a 0.5. It did crash eventually, but I was still able to open the file. Okay, I wasn't able to edit it. So this is an XML file here, and I'm going to open up another file. Let's open up the regex file. Okay, so before I open up the PHP file, one thing I noticed is that I don't think I was able to for example, to vertically put this down or top. Let's try it. Yeah, see, I can't. You get this weird thing, and I figured out because I'm using Wayland. You see this? It comes up with this, I guess, helper, but I can't use it. For example, I want to drag it to the left or bottom or top, and I can't. This comes up, but you see, I can't drag. I click here, it doesn't even let me click. So I believe if I was using just the regular X11, it would work, but I'm using Wayland, so that does not work. And you can see the memory here dropped down to, what is it, 7 gigs. But remember, this is not really true, because remember, I have 32 gigs of memory, but about 4 is reserved for the integrated graphics. And obviously I'm here running OBS, and I have a bunch of stuff open, including the application, so that's going to use some of it. So so this number might not be completely accurate. OBS is also another slight memory hog. All right, so now I'm going to go and open up the Java file. I should open up, where's the PHP file? Syntax.php. So let's say I want to open up the Python file, and I want to put it right here in between the regex and the Java file. So if I grab Python here, and I'm trying to put it in here, right in the middle, see, there's no, I can't. See, it opens it at the end. So that also gives it a 0.5 because I can't position it exactly where I want. All right, now obviously multiple editors can be opened. Each window I can't split, and I think that might be a Wayland issue. Okay, so obviously I can create non-project files. As you saw, I did open up this in a folder, so that's fine. Soft wrap, right here, you can already see soft wrap is enabled. For example, if we go back to here, if I uncheck it, you can see it basically puts everything there. So if you don't know what soft wrap is, soft wrap means that it will take the entire word and put it on the second line. Hard wrap will break a word. For example, if this word test, let's say this word was tester, what hard wrap will do is the E and R would be on the next line. So I don't like that. I prefer the soft wrap, because soft wrap, what it will do is if this word was tester, you see how it would not fit on this line. It would take that word and put it on the next line. That's soft wrap. I prefer soft wrap, but some people might still like hard wrap, or older IDEs still have it. All right, so obviously that works. So a perfect score of 1.0. And now spell check does not work, and there's a very good reason for it. Let me see if I have the regex file here. You see here there are clear spelling mistakes. For example, this is spelled wrong, and one of this could be wrong depending on my locale. For example, I'm in Canada. The correct spelling for color is the British one, which is this one here in Canada. However, Canadians are special, so sometimes they do allow the American spellings, but I think this one is pretty much the British way of spelling it. But anyway, the point is here's another spelling mistake, here's another spelling mistake. So as of now, there's no spell check, and if you saw, there's no plugins or anything like that at this time. So this is that fails. So the spell check, I had to give it a 0. Now word count is not available. If you don't know what word count is, for example, this line 23 here, if I select all of this, down here it should tell me that I have 3 words. As you can see, there is no indicator here, so that's also a fail, and that gets a 0. Now, jump to line or go to line, for example, you see right now I'm on line 19. So if I press Control L, oops, I guess it's Control G. Sometimes I forget. Let me go back to line 19, Control L. Oops, that also doesn't work. Oh, I said Control G, sorry. Control G, yeah, Control G. And you see it knows I'm on line 19. Let's say I want to go to line 10. So you press that, and then you see it's going to take me to the beginning of line 10, so that works. You can also, I think it was under Edit. Oh, is it Search? Yeah, sorry, under Search, go to line, you see Control G there. Alright, so that obviously got 1 or 0. Indentation does work. For example, if I go to the Java file here, let me zoom out. I'm just using the mouse and control wheel. So for example here, a little bit more. Okay, so you see here I'm inside a method as Java calls them, which is a function. So if I press enter here, you see it indented properly. And then if I go outside to the function itself, I press, you see it indented properly. So that's indentation. So that's perfect. And that was on by default. I didn't have to tweak any settings or anything. That was on by default. So I like that. It's very useful for programming, of course, as you just saw. And what else is here? Fonts can be dynamically scaled. Yeah, you guys already show that. So for example, I hold down the control key and the middle mouse wheel button. There you go. And you can also do it by control ++. So control shift ++. The reason is because if you tap control plus, it's actually control equal. So you need to use the shift key for that. And then control minus, that will zoom out. And remember, there's control 0, which goes to 100%. That I do like. If you forget those are under where was that? Edit? Was it view or something? View, under view. Under view, there's zoom. You see the shortcuts are there. But if you don't have to memorize them, you can simply use your muscle memory. Okay, so find and replace. Obviously, they have find and replace right here. So I click replace. And you can see you can search backwards only, match whole word. You can do regular expressions. These are regular expressions in case you don't know. And regular expressions are here. And there we go. And obviously the simple search and replace. For example, this one is using NetBeans. So let's change it from NetBeans to Notepad Next. So Control F, Control F, and you can see it says, find. I want to replace. Oh, it does them both together. Okay, the one I want is actually replace. So I want to replace NetBeans with Notepad Next. Okay. Obviously I don't have to use regular expressions, so I click on replace all, and you saw it does work. So I'm going to save that for next time. The next editor we review. All right, what else do we have here? Let's open up the PHP file to see if it picks up syntax highlighting for multiple languages. So this PHP file obviously has HTML. You see it highlights HTML. It also has CSS. It looks like this CSS, according to me, it doesn't look like it's styled. And then there's some JavaScript. JavaScript doesn't actually look like it's styled. And the HTML is, and the PHP doesn't seem to be, well, it is here. I don't know why it's not in some other place. Oh, now it is. Okay, there we go. So weird. Okay, so PHP works really well, and HTML. So there you go. So I still give it a 1. Code forwarding. If you don't know what code forwarding is, you see this little square here with minus, plus, minus. So if I click on that, you see now it's collapsed. If I click, see, so the plus means that it's possible to expand it. So if I click on it, it will expand and show everything. So it also works for PHP. You see this PHP if statement, there's a block here. So it also works there as well. So obviously I got a perfect 1.0. Works. It also works, this is HTML and other languages like PHP. It also works for Java, for example. I have Java open here. You can see it also works for Java. Where was Python? Where's the Python file? Does it also work for Python? Of course it does. There we go. All right, so now let's go and do the select the rectangular block or column mode. So what you have to do here is I'm going to make it a little bit easier and then a little harder. I'm going to use the regex here. I've zoomed out. So let me actually zoom out even more. There's a reason for that. I'll explain. So I'll zoom to 70. What you do is the edit. Yeah, in edit mode, you enable column mode here. Okay, then you can select the line number. I really don't like this, so you can do it this way. I find this not very intuitive. I prefer to use the mouse instead of having to do it this way. But yeah, you can do this. This is the way you can do it. I really don't like this. And also when I got this working, let me zoom in again. You see how, for example, this on line 13, you see how the word corner is on the next row, but it's still so. One of the things I like to do is when I do the column select is to see if I can search in there, and usually it screws up a little bit. So I'm giving the 0.5 because it's not really, it's a column select, but it should not be, it should be more intuitive. I should just, for example, just put my mouse here, press some shortcut key or enable it, and then just go like that to select. So that's why I got 0.5. No, that one is not very intuitive. And if let's say I was able to work with this should also be it should be toggled by some shortcut key as well. All right, so that's why I got that 0.5. Multiple selection. Surprisingly, multiple selection is available. Can you believe this? You hold down the control key. So for example, here, if I hold down the control key and I go somewhere else like here, laughter, you see, that's called multiple cursors or multiple selections. So I'll explain the difference. So this is what we're seeing here is multiple cursors. That's one part of multiple selection. So for example, I can type something like this works, right? So that's multiple cursor. The problem is if I do select, let me undo. So if I do select this, I can hold down my control key and I select the word laughter. So because of the multiple cursors, multiple selection does work. So that's great. The problem is I can't search. I can now go and search only in the multiple selection. Is that important? Yes, sometimes that is important, especially when you have a very large document or you're looking for something specific and you can't find it. So that's why that got 0.5, but I'm pretty glad it works. So I know some of you might be screaming, hey, why don't you just hold down the control key to see if the column mode works? Okay, so I'm holding down the control key, go like this, you see it doesn't work. All right, next we're going to go to destruction-free mode. Now destruction-free mode, you just go to view. Then for example, I can get rid of this folder as a workspace, and you guys saw the other stuff. For example, under show symbols, I can get rid of the indent guide, and I can go full screen. There's other things I do. So for that one, I got 1.0. Oh, perfect. Now the file manager can be enabled. You guys already saw the file manager here, but there's a problem with the file manager. I can't drag and drop it. So when I try to drag and drop stuff in here, that would not work. And for example, remember that that folder is this one, the my app folder, right? So for example, if I have this tax penguin here, if I drag it into here to a folder, it's not going to work. So it actually opens up here, which is really silly, because sometimes I'm working on a project and I might receive, or I might make it myself. I might make a file icon or an icon for an application. I want to put it in the same workspace or folder. I want to drag and drop. So that does not work. And instead it opens it up as for editing as text, which doesn't make any sense because it's a binary file. All right. So that got a 0.5. Now the terminal is not enabled. There's no way to enable a terminal here. So meaning the terminal cannot execute system commands. So for that, I gave it a 0. So now with all that added up, Notepad Next is a lightweight text editor. By default, it's missing some required features as you saw, and that it also might be implemented in the future, so that's great. But for my required features, it received a score of 62.5 or 6.25 out of 10. So would I use this? No, I would not. I said it's still missing too many features. So I'm saying there are way better things to use it. Most likely cross-platform, for example, from command line editors or terminal editors like Nano, Vim, even just VI, and some with a GUI, for example, like Emacs. I use I use Genie, and as I said, for my Genie is also already a lightweight IDE, and then there's NetBeans, which between both of those guys, I basically get all my stuff done. And then when I'm doing tutorials, you guys sometimes see me using the GNOME text editor. That one is very basic, but it works extremely well for what I need, and it's actually pretty as well. All right, now with that said, so that's the end of the not the coding part, the review part of the tutorial. So I'm not going to close this yet. But I'll close this. The task manager screenshots here. You guys already saw everything here, and you saw the issue with I can't place like vertically, horizontally tabs. So this is a live stream I promised you guys. I'll close this. All right, and you guys already saw the score, so that's not. Yeah, there's nothing, there's nothing special about that. You guys already saw that. Now, if you want to learn more about programming, you can explore my programming books. They are available on Amazon. You search for Ojambo. The links are also in the description. The link to my author page at least. And then I also offer programming courses on ojamboshop.com. The link is also in the description and it's also here. You can view courses. If you need help, I'm available for tutoring, whether you're a beginner or looking to sharpen your skills. I offer one-on-one programming tutorials at ojambo.com/contact. And if you need installation and migration help, I also offer that, including Notepad Next and other tools which are cross-platform. So you can contact me at ojamboservices.com/contact. So my final thoughts. Notepad Next proves that open source can be beautiful, functional, and user-friendly for Fedora's users, especially because I'm on Fedora. It provides a solid Notepad++ alternative that is easy to install and use daily. Have you tried Notepad Next? Let me know your experience in the comments below. All right. Also, I do have another resource, and that is the Starlink residential service. So if any of you thinking of getting Starlink, which is a satellite, SpaceX Starlink is a satellite provider. It works extremely well. I've said this before. I'm actually using it right now for the live stream, as you can see it, and I also use it on my phone because I'm in a rural area, and my cellular phone service is spotty. But by using Wi-Fi calling, I'm able to receive calls and send and receive text messages as if I was in some town or a city, clearly, and everything as well. And people don't know that I'm actually in a rural area. But so this is enough. It's a referral link. So what happens if you actually do purchase the service, I'll get 1 month free. So that's one way you can support me. That'll be very, very nice. And with that said, a quick reminder, I do a live stream every day at 2 p.m. Eastern. You can simply go to ojambo.com, go to the watch menu, then live summon. You can see topics for this and upcoming tutorials. For example, you can see what we're doing tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern. And also be sure to subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments. That really helps the channel grow. Okay, with that said, I'm checking the live chat. I don't see any chat requests, so I'm going to end this live stream, and I'll see you guys tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern. Bye now. Have a great day.